All right, folks, I got caught daydreaming completely. I'm on my phone. I done drifted off in the Samsung land on Amazon, looking to buy something I don't need to be buying. But in the meantime, we are here ready to get this thing started from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You and your boy, Lonzo and Dusty, making it happen again on a Tuesday evening, y'all. Dusty, fresh off vacation. I'm fresh off the flow. It's about to go down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What up, Lons?
Man, just doing too much, as I always am. You know, I'm one of them handy Andes, man. I got a little thing.
I like that hat. I like that hat a lot.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you. I got a little thing. I mean, as long as I can do something, I'm gonna try and do it. I've been finish up the floor in my studio for the past 3-4 days, and I'm sore, but I'm glad I can still do it. That's all. What can I tell you, man?
Man, most 67-year-olds I know right now are in the house, barely get up, barely could walk to the refrigerator, and here you are putting down the damn floor, man.
Yeah, man. It's just something that's, I don't know what it is. It's just that my old man was like that. You know, I enjoy working with my hands. I enjoy building stuff, putting stuff together. I get a sense of accomplishment when I finish something, man. And I look back and see my new floor in the studio, and I know I did it, or rearrange some stuff. It just something about me. I like doing that kind of stuff. And that's been my project since Sunday. I'm almost done, but I could have been done Sunday if I just went on and finished, but I got messed around with Facebook and buddies came by. So anyway, it's all good. What we got today, man?
Man, a lot to talk about, man. I want to kind of focus tonight on world-class Wreckin Cru. There's a couple other, topics I want to touch on as well, but I definitely want to get deeper into world-class Wreckin Cru if we can. Just a few things that we may have touched on in the past, but didn't really get to go too deep into. Now, a couple of these questions we've already talked about, I've already asked you, but let's go back. We're going to take it back to the basics. When did world-class Wreckin Cru form?
We formed, you asked a question, I got to give you a double answer. We formed as a recording group as Wreckin Cru in 1984, okay? But because there was a problem, I just saw this documentary the other day. I was watching this documentary about some old school bands out of Chicago. And there was a house band out of Chicago that was called the Wreckin Cru. I never knew that. And a bunch of white boys and some brothers, and they did a lot of stuff for Motown and Sam and Dave, a lot of other recording artists. And they nicknamed themselves the Wreckin Cru. And I got hit with a lawyer. Hey, man, you can't use Wreckin Cru. You can use something else. So I just changed the spelling on Wreckin and CRU and Cru, added world class, and nobody sent me no more letters. So that was 84, to answer the question. We was world class by 85.
Okay.
We was world class by 85.
Who's the first person that said, yep, I'm down?
What with the group?
Go ahead. We have a little delay. Sorry, folks. Yeah, who's the first person that said, yep, I'm down to join?
Clientele. Clientele was the first one to join. I met Clientele. I was hosting a rapping contest, and Clientele kicked ass in the rapping contest, and I pulled him to the side. Hey, man, I'm trying to make something happen. You might want to check it out. He said, cool. He came back, and we made it happen.
Okay. Were there any members that
came right after that, though?
Dre was
the last one to join. Huh? Sorry, Dre was the last one to join.
Were there any members that were reluctant to join?
Nah, everybody wanted to be down. I mean, we was already a DJ crew, so it was just like a natural progression that we started doing something, bigger and better. Plus, we was trying to beat Uncle Jam's army, dude. We was trying to stay on their heels, pass them, whatever the case may be. They had a pretty big reputation, but we was holding our own, and we wanted to do something different, And Uncle Jam's army never had a group. They made records, but they never became a group. Egypt was always Egyptian lover. Roger did a couple of songs, but there was never a group that recorded that was Uncle Jam's army. There was a bunch of guys in the army. The army was like shit, man. It was like Funkadelic. You don't know who was in the army. As long as Roger was there, you saw Egypt. Everybody else would come and go. But the crew was 4 of us. whether we Eve After Dark or World Class Wreckin Cru. It was just us four. But again, we had guys behind us, but when it came to the camera and the stage, it was all just the four of us.
Okay. Now, World Class Wreckin Cru wasn't nothing to be played with on stage. I just watched footage from one of your shows from the Alexandra Hotel back in 1987. Yes, and y'all was on some Temptation shit. Everybody was in formation, with the dance moves and the stage presence. What went into your stage show? Tell us about, your rehearsals and things like that.
We would rehearse, man, 6-7 hours a day sometimes, depending on if we had a show or not. We would come in the studio and mess around. Like, say we had a show, the month in advance, we start working on some shit. By the last 2 weeks before the show, and the last week of the show, they was mad at me because I was pushing them. Hey, man, we can't, Because again, you got to remember, we're not going up against no nut grabbing, tennis shoe wearing jeans. We're going against some real players, man. We're going against Morris Day, Jesse Johnson, Midnight Star, Mary Jane Girls. We the opening act for these folks, and we want to be felt. I never was no chump when it came to that kind of shit. So to be able to walk on stage and make your presence be known was a major accomplishment for me. And like I said, we didn't see rappers for almost a year and a half, 2 years. And even the rappers we saw, like LA Dream Team, they was banging. They wasn't no slouches. That was just an LA Pride thing, man. It was a thing of LA Pride. Everybody was competing for domination.
LA Dream Team, man. Legendary crew. What so you said they were banging as in they were on some gangster shit?
No. They just was banging on stage. They just was hard. They wasn't no chumps.
Gotcha.
I mean,
gotcha.
In that era, man, we played with groups like the Jets. Remember the Jets? I got a crush on you.
Of course, yep.
Them some Samoan kids they were some Samoan kids out of Milwaukee.
Carson, right?
Producers. Yeah.
Oh, Milwaukee. No, I'm thinking the boys. I'm tripping.
The boys are from Carson. Okay. Now, here's the problem we had. We was dealing with the Samoans out of Milwaukee and the boys out of Carson. We at some point in time, we all met up on stage. Dude, you had to come with it. Them Samoans wasn't no joke. Them big son of a guns could move. The girls could move. They had girls. They could move. The boys, they was acrobats. Them little son of a guns flip all over the stage and do all kind of James Brown stuff. We still doing our shit, and we grown men. So we had to compete with that. I hated going behind the boys because they were so energetic. These guys are like 10, 12 years old. They just energize the buddies. Okay. And then we get thrown sometime opening up for Zap. And one day we had to close for Zap. Oh man, how the hell are you gonna close for Roger Troutman, dude? I ain't doing that. It was a different era, dude. It was like being a boxer in that same era. You got Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler. Everybody was bad back then. There wasn't no one bad dude back there. Everybody was bad back then. We playing with Ready for the World. Tony was just coming out. Hammer was coming out. Dude, you had to be ready. You just couldn't be no punk. You had to be ready, And that was the era in which we came up. That's why we had to look good. We had to be professional on stage. We had jackets off stage. We had our uniforms on stage. And it was just a different era.
And shout out to the chat, man. They know their history. They said the Jets are from Minneapolis, not Milwaukee. Yes, honest mistake.
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, my bad. Started with an M. Shit, I know.
Close enough. About the same amount of letters. I want to talk about this project that we haven't even discussed. We've never discussed this project. It's a lesser-known world-class Wreckin Cru project. And I want to kind of go into a little bit more depth than this. But you guys had a project. I think it was called Phases in Life.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. That came out, I think, I don't know, going maybe 1990 from what I remember reading.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play a couple songs, and if I have any issues with YouTube, I'll deal with that later. But I'm going to play just a couple clips from some songs. And one song that stood out to me the most was a song called Serial Case. Killers. We got to be careful what we say on YouTube. There's stupid regulations. But this song, Serial Case, is pretty deep. You guys are getting pretty deep. So I'm gonna play this just a little clip of Lonzo busting on the microphone. World class Wreckin Cru phases in life, and this is Serial Case. I should smoke. Here comes Lonzo.
Man, I passed through the old hood the other day, and things ain't even cool. The liquor store on the corner, you know the one, covered with our friends from school. Some just want a quarter, and man, some just want to die. So they can buy a 40 ounce or a bottle of wine.
All right, that's deep, Lonzo. That's a deep ass song. You were writing some deep stuff, dog. Talk to us about Serial Case and what brought that song.
Serial Case was straight up reality rap, man. Every word was reality rap, dude. When you think about the various epidemics, pharmaceutical epidemics we've experienced in the various communities, every war we fought, we came back with a new pharmaceutical dependency. The first one was heroin when we fought the Vietnam War. Then with crack cocaine when they went over to Nicaragua. And lately when they went over to Afghanistan, we came back with opioids. And each one of those territories was the homeland of the roots of various drugs. And when I realized that, I started writing serial killers. And each one of those drugs have a serial sounding name: whack, smack, and crack. Okay, if that don't sound like some cereal, my name ain't Lonzo. Okay, whack, smack, and crack. Okay, they all sound like cereals, and that's what I came up with the name, and it kind of coincided with what they did. It was serial killers. They was killing people in masses, and it just made for some real smooth play on words. But at that time, 1990, my delivery, my style had played out. I was on a hip hop R&B tip, and the world that went gangster, and that was always something. That was one of my better projects. And it can be in some arenas today will be considered corny. It was pretty decently received, man, back in the day. But again, gangster rap jacked everything. New Jack music, it jacked everything. You know, R&B, New Jack, everything got consumed. Gangster rap hit the set, and my R&B hip hop style was one of those victims of the gangster invasion.
That's deep, man. You were talking some deep stuff in that song. Now let's relate that to today. Back then it was looked down upon to be a dope head. It was looked down upon to be an alcoholic, things like that. You didn't praise that. Fast forward to 2024, people are praising the dope and the opioids and all of that stuff. What changed?
Man, the desire for money, put this way here. Up until the late 2000s, most of the street pharmaceuticals, most of the money was made by brown people, whether it be Nicaraguans, brothers in the hood. But at some point in time, I think the corporate entities realized people gonna get high no matter what, and they decide they're gonna take it over. So now they are not only take it over by giving you legal pharmaceutical drugs that can be purchased with a prescription. Somehow or another, these drugs always find their way out of the manufacturing plants into the streets. Boxes and hundreds and millions of them. And it seemed to me that some corporate entities may have decided if the world want to get high, we're gonna get them high. So we're gonna every street drug has a pharmaceutical cousin. Think about that. Every street drug has a pharmaceutical cousin. If you want to get, if you was on that the smack, they got an opioid for you. Okay, everybody know that there's another one. What are the Adderall or whatever? Ain't nothing but from a crack to a certain degree. So you got all these. You got all these. Now you have all these alternatives. And they don't have the same fear where you have to worry about sticking a needle in your arm. You're gonna get me canceled talking about this shit.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta stick a needle in your arm. Like, all you gotta do is get some water and take it. You're gonna get not the same high, but you'll be all right for the most part. And I think that was, and then with that being said, everybody by the internet not having any filters for the most part. And you got a group of people that's pretty much promoting us in their music, it makes it cool. And we control cool. I don't give a damn about it. We control cool. If we say taking certain things is gonna make us cool, wearing certain things gonna make us cool, being certain places gonna make us cool, drinking certain things will make you cool, they're gonna follow you. And that's something that I don't think they understand. Most people who have that influence don't understand their power.
Facts. Hey, let's move into our bit where I give you a lyric and you break it down, because this may be kind of a perfect segue. And we are going to get into some more world-class Wreckin Cru stuff. We're going to get into some Easy E talk as well. I want to give a quick shout out to the chat. Shout out to Mike Page, D Minor, Miami 808, the homies Rashard Cobb and Marlon Cozy, Strictly Funk. Nino America, make sure you guys subscribe to Nino America. He has great content on his channel. He's right there in the chat. The homie Derek Mallory, of course. Miami 808, Vista Light, let's go. But I'm gonna give you a line from Mos Def, Lonzo, one of my favorite rappers of all time, man. And
I love him,
not a bad actor either. Pretty decent actor. If you guys have never seen him, and he played Chuck Berry, he did really good playing Chuck Berry.
Played good Chuck Berry. He was 16 blocks. He was dynamite in 16 blocks. That little crazy point, man. I don't know, man. Come on, man. I got my birthday, man. I don't know about my birthday. That shit was crazy, dude. He made that up. Okay, go ahead.
Good actor, man, definitely. So he has a line, Lonzo, and the song is from Mathematics, and it's a simple line like this. It says, "Crack mothers, crack babies, and AIDS patients. Young bloods can't spell, but they can rock you in a PlayStation." Let me sit on that for a second. I'm going to read it again for everybody out there as well in the chat. He says, "Crack mothers, crack babies, and AIDS patients. Young bloods can't spell, but they could rock you in PlayStation." And shout out OG Steve. Good looking out.
Steve, I see you, baby. I see you.
What does that bring to your, what do you think when you hear that, Lonzo?
Priorities change in the household first and foremost. When the priorities in the household change. Because see, back in the day, there was a lot more dads in the house. And dad snatched that controller out your hand and send you to your room, put hands on your behalf, whatever he had to do to get the message across, because he knew what he was dealing with. Okay, he knew what to expect, what you had to look forward to as a man in the community. Sometimes people can get. I have to think about what I'm saying without saying something that's going to offend anybody. I never want to offend anybody, but no matter how much I don't want to offend,
really hard.
Some of this shit hits home someplace. Okay, maybe not.
Somebody's offended by your apology right now. Like it's really hard. You just gotta roll with it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Doing that at era, man. A lot of mamas. The whole. In some cases, some mamas lost the art of being mamas. Okay, and they would stick kid in front of the TV set, PlayStation, just leave me alone. And I got to do what I got to do, and I'm gonna bring it over here, and that situation became such a hustle, whether or not you were smoking or not. And sometimes because you was around it, you tried it. Next thing you know, you hooked on it, and it's no longer just help paying the rent. Now you're trying to get it. You're trying to steal and do what you can to get it. I've seen it, man. I've seen it happen too many times, Doc, for real. Some of the most respectable people in my community fell victim to that stuff, and a lot of them was women, dude. And a lot of young boys got left. Mama ain't getting a check. She ain't getting attention from the daddy no more. It's a kid. He go to PlayStation. Leave me alone. I'm going back in the room and get high. Whatever the case may be. And when you seen that, dude, like I said, man, when you seen people from the community that you used to admire fall victim to crack, and their kids are trying their best, the grandparents sometimes have to step in and keep the kids on the straight and narrow. Dude, that's what you're listening to. That's what you're listening to. You're listening to the realness of mom not caring no more. She loved her drugs more than she loved her kids. And maybe the kids mom may have custody, but daddy may have bought him a PlayStation, and the kid just zones out on that just so that he ain't got this experience his mama doing some crazy stuff. Dude, it was a mess, man. If anybody on the channel ever experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. I've seen it too many times, dude. Too many times.
Yeah, a lot of grandmas taking care of the kids out there. I see a lot more of that in our community as well, Lonzo. Just grandmas taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
They call it big mama, whatever the case is.
Yeah. They say if you raise your kids, you ain't got to raise your grandkids. Okay? If you raise your kids, you ain't got to raise your grandkids.
Damn. Ooh, that's
right.
deep. Ooh,
right.
That's deep. That is deep. That is deep. Let's move on, Lonzo. I want to keep talking about this Phases in Life project, which I found pretty good. Like you said, I mean, you said it was one of your better projects. I mean, I think musically it was really, really dope. You guys did a remake of one of my favorite old school songs, I'll Be Around. I'm going to play a little bit of this, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. And now it's up to me. You guys got the I'll Be Around joint. And so you hold the key. All right. Let's go to Lonzo. Hold on. I'll be around. All right. Yeah.
A simple breakup is like a divorce. Extremely painful and filled with remorse. But nevertheless, I must be strong.
Thank you, Marlon.
Head high and still carry on. To face the fact that I love didn't work. Put my ego aside and deal with the hurt. I hate the fact that we had to end. But so what? I'm still your friend.
Okay, Lonzo, is a little love song about breaking up sound like?
Yeah.
I'll still be there for you?
Yeah, I just divorced my first wife, man. That was Phases in Life. Phases in Life was my testimony to going through shit. Okay. I just broke with my first wife, and I got married and I was like 39, going on 40. What? I forgot what my anniversary was. Anyway, and it stung. It stung like a son of a gun. And I started making this album, and a lot of things that I was going through, I just put into the music, man. Most people do that. And I had some partners, Z and Alberto. We all was grown men, so we've been here before. We've been through some shit. We did it. My reality rap was not about shooting and banging and carrying on. It was about stuff that people really go through. Going through a divorce. That shit took me 18 months. It took me longer to go through the divorce than I was actually married. It took longer for me to get divorced than it did for me that I was married. So, and she had a daughter, and I liked the girl. I mean, I was the only daddy she ever knew. I took her to school every day, so I was going through some shit. And people don't realize that when you're a step parent, sometimes you forget you're a step parent. Okay, especially if you ain't got no competition to remind you. And we didn't have none. All she had was me. And it just was one of them situations, man. That shit stung, bro.
Hey, it sounded real too. And once again, really good production. I see you didn't skimp out on the production ever, it seems like, pretty much. You always wanted the best sound. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, Doc. And here's the crazy part. That whole album was done back here in the studio. We did everything. right here in the studio. We did everything. We had a small budget.
Right there where you're sitting at right now, right?
Right here where I'm sitting at. We did. We bought new microphone. I bought a Akai 414 microphone because we started doing it with another microphone, and you could tell it wasn't right. And then I bought the Akai 414, man, and my boy Booker and Z and Berto, everybody came in, and we was actually making a house version of "I'll Be Around." You know, something for the dance floor, man. Because that's one of my favorite records, anyway. And to throw a little up tempo house thing, you know, it just kind of felt good.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Z, you guys, I'm assuming, tried to recreate the magic you had with Turn Off the Lights, and you released The Lights Are Out. And
Right.
let's see, Z was, they call me the Z, the horn man for the crew. Just to put you in the mood, I'ma play my horn for you. So you guys did almost the same type of, I
Yep.
guess,
Yep.
thing that you did with Turn Off the Lights. So is it safe to say you were trying to recreate that magic, and hopefully that one will blow up too?
Yeah. At that time, the record company, the distributor I was with, they wanted another Turn Off the Lights, and I grabbed the girl, grabbed my boys, and we tried to make something happen, you know. And it wasn't that bad. We had lights, the lights. That was it, and you know, it was cool, you know. But it just wasn't Turn Off the Lights. You know, sometimes you only can catch that. You catch that magic one time, baby. You catch that with that lightning in the bottle one time. After that, you got to find something else to do.
Yeah, and if I may, from a critical standpoint, the female who sang on this song, she was really, really good. But I think Turn Off the Lights was, and no disrespect, obviously, to anyone in the group, but I think Miss L.A. is the reason. Her voice is just, it's hard to match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She was good, but she wasn't Miss L.A. She wasn't Mona. If I'd have got Mona, we could, and no, she was good. It's just her her tone wasn't as strong as my other two girls. They didn't have the same strength, same power. That's what it was. They didn't have the power, and I like power singers.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the times back then. Can you explain a maxi
A maxi
single? I know
single.
that you guys released several maxi singles, and what is the point of a maxi single? Yeah, maxi single. What's the point of a maxi single? And you know, also, yeah, actually, we'll start with that.
A maxi single is like an EP. They also call them EPs. They're like 3 songs, maybe 4 at the most. Usually there'll be 3 songs on one side and with instrumentals on the back side. The purpose of that is to try and um, get something that's going to hit and have something to back it up without having to go to the studio making an album. An album takes about a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months to make, depending on, you know, an album will burn you out. An album, oh my God, making an album can be a bitch. I mean, we used to be, well, back in the day, it used to be a bitch. Because from the first metronome to the last mix, you might have heard that same song, man, 2,000 times. It would drive you nuts. And but a maxi single, you you hear it a couple hundred times, but you only got 3 songs to worry about. And usually when they do the instrumental version, they just mute all the vocals and that's it. Even back then, all we did was mute the vocals. We just run it back down again. So it just made for, especially when you were a dance group like we were, we didn't have to do an album to get back to work. And that was the whole purpose of the EP we did, House Calls. That was just getting back to work. That was just Wreckin Cru trying to find a way to get back into the mix real quick. Cabbage Patch, House Calls, Cabbage Patch, and Must Be the Music.
Gotcha. Okay. Now going back to "I'll Be Around," and just sampling in general. You know, let's take the Chronic album for instance, Dr. Dre, classic album. It's full of samples. Why would an artist create a project full of samples knowing that they will have to pay the original creator of the sample, you know, most of the money? Is it just easier that way? Why would, you know, someone even put one sample song on their project that could take up, I don't know, $100,000 to the creator of the song? You know what I mean?
Back in the day, nobody had figured out sampling yet. It was just something people did. It wasn't the logistics of sampling had not been figured out yet. It was nobody cleared no samples in the beginning. They just made the samples and made the song with the samples in them. And when they hit record, what is that my shit? Oh, it is my shit. Oh, give me a check. And depending on, then you had to figure out how you're gonna calculate it. Then you had to get the publisher involved, the master involved, the writers had to get paid, and then some people would just have a straight out fee for whatever. Well, I don't give a damn, $5,000 for the sample, plus half the publisher. Sometimes they tell you, we're gonna charge you $10,000, huh?
Prince didn't mess around. He wanted 100% of the song. If you put anything of his voice on,
damn what you said, what you do to it, it's still my song. So and it all depends on who you were talking to. When Master P sample Turn Off the Lights, I took all the publishing. I ain't giving none. Why? Okay, you stole something that was mine. I caught you, and by the time you stole it and we did it again, it was more valuable. So why am I rewarding you for stealing? Okay. And that's how it worked out. That's how I looked at it. And I didn't give them shit. They didn't get nothing. Although we fight now because overseas my name came off the project. How the fuck my name come off this shit? So I just found that out recently. So it's a cold game, man. It's a cold game, dude.
Yeah, and it's almost like, is it worth it to hire a lawyer to work 24 hours a day trying to find all that stuff, or just let it go, right?
That's the dilemma you face right there, Doc. Every lawyer want upfront money, and you can't guarantee that what you're getting is worth the hassle. Now, again, if it hits someplace, I'll go after it. Okay, but just because right now, even the U.S. checks, they ain't that much, maybe $85. So they haven't hit anything yet. But I tell you what, when they did it, when they used it for a big one of them college bands used it down south. I got paid for that. They used it for they used Mr. Ice Cream Man for one of them Louisiana big bands played it in their a movie. I mean, a television thing, a televised game, and they had to go see the cashier.
Nice, damn, that's dope, man. That's the importance of ownership right there, ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell. Since we're about halfway through, I'm gonna ask you guys to hit that like button. If you haven't already, just smash that like button for us. It helps YouTube know we exist, and we are trying to get as much help as we can to let the world know we exist. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. You are tuned into N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo, with the godfather of West Coast hip hop, Alonzo Williams. Do your Google search. If you are not familiar with the name, you definitely know the work, and you definitely will find out the impact he had on West Coast hip hop. I am Dusty Vision. Thank you guys for joining the program. By most accounts, Lonzo, N.W.A. sold well over 1 million copies of their first album with little to no airplay. Can you explain how amazing and rare that was, not only for now, but for back then? I mean, because if you sold 1 million copies, that means damn near someone in every state is probably buying your album. How were they able to do that?
Man, that was one of the situations, Doc, that was just perfect timing. They were never supposed to go to the radio. They were never supposed to be mainstream. They were supposed to be strictly underground. Back then, it was a lot of underground activity because there were independent distribution networks around the country, around the world, actually. And you had your majors, then you had your independents, and the independents were always looking for something unique that the majors didn't have, so they can make as much money as they possibly could before the majors bought it, whether it be rock and roll, punk, whatever the case may be. That was the record game at that time. The independents were the ones that took the chances, fought with radio stations, fought with record stores, and as soon as this shit got enough numbers, the big boys come take it. And N.W.A. was one. They was the same thing. McCullough was the person. McCullough had a chain of independent record distributors around the country, and that shit started to get hot. And you had people, man, you had people in various parts of the country, Swartz Brothers, shit, who else? JD, I mean, HSOH. You got people that in various parts of the country that could come in and buy 50,000 records, okay, and sell them, And you didn't need radio for that because they had independent street promoters. They had DJs. DJs were very powerful back then, man. DJs were very powerful back in the day. And so you got an underground network that can support and distribute. You don't need the majors, and that was something that N.W.A was able to take care of. N.W.A took advantage of it. So did Luke. Okay, so did Luke for a while. And who else? Hammer did for a minute. Everybody, the independent distribution network was how a lot of people got popular in the beginning. And at some point in time, like I said, you make enough money, you come a check, and everything changes. So when that happened, it was just perfect timing. Rodney King he just had his introduction to flashlight therapy on tape. Police got off on the shit, riots jump off. So now for the first time, after police is a part of the community's chanting, not just N.W.A, the community is chanting this shit. And it just took off, man. And they had a lot of negative publicity that it turned out to be a good thing. Just like they had when the FBI sent them the letter. That helped. Okay, when C. Dolores Tucker and Tipper Gore, they was all talking about Ice-T and N.W.A. Oh man, that shit didn't do nothing but boost sales. Now, what are they talking? Why are they so? And that's the part they don't understand. They so stupid by trying to hold a news conference or a press conference to denounce it. You making people curious about it. Okay, it's the same thing happened back in the 80s with cocaine. They was trying to denounce it. What cocaine? I never heard it before. Where's it at? Can I find some? And dude, it's just
champagne of drugs, right?
Champagne of drugs. Okay, shit. They made people want to go find some of that stuff. And the same thing would happen to rap records, to gangster rap. They talked about it so bad. What's with this? Even if you didn't know, it made you curious. If you didn't know, you still got curious, and that's the part that made people, especially when the young generation got hold to it, and it was good. Come on, man, a recipe for success. Everything they did was brand new.
The media is the reason why I went out and tried to find a two Live Crew tape.
See, you want to know? It's like somebody telling you, your mama tell you, don't touch that, you're gonna get burnt.
I don't even know what horny is.
See what I'm saying? It's like somebody tell you, as soon as somebody tell you you can't have it, that's what you want it the most. As soon as they say you can't have it,
and you did mention.
Go ahead.
Yep. And you did mention in the past that gangster rap, N.W.A, was moving across the country at the same pace that crack was. And with that brought the gangs. And when they're going on their drive-bys, they're listening to N.W.A and stuff like that. So the fact that crack and all that was moving at the same time, you called it a recipe for disaster, I do believe.
It was a perfect storm, Doc. Perfect storm. You couldn't have had better time if you planned it.
Yeah. Would N.W.A have gone as far without Jerry Heller? Someone asked that.
No, I don't think so. I know, man, look, if I do believe in the bottom of my heart, if I was behind N.W.A, they wouldn't have made it out the blocks. Because first of all, they came after me. Why are you leading these young men astray? That's the same reason why I did not get involved in it. Because it's when you sit and watch people attempt to destroy other people, and other people do the same thing and just get a free pass. Okay, and I felt that would be my demise. I would not get the free pass that Jerry Heller got. Jerry Heller, he knew enough to stand back And what he because what he did, he's always said this, and I don't care what nobody say. He always stood back in the very beginning. In the very beginning, this is Eric. I work for Eric, right? I'm not an owner. I just work. I'm the manager. Okay, and that means he separates himself. Once he became successful, it was a whole different story. There's no bullshit. You had to be there to know the truth. And once he died, he was partner.
Mm-hmm. And we've all believed and said that Jerry would never in his mind ever even think about having a group from the J community who are doing what N.W.A was doing. There would be no J's with attitude.
No. The Anti-Defamation League would not let that happen. I told you the story about the group called Two Live Jews, right?
Tell us again.
Two Live Jews were a group. I don't know where they came from. They were at Macola. Look it up. And they were a parody of Two Live Crew. And Don called me into the office and he says, man, I'm getting a letter from the Jewish Anti-Defamation League. I said, for what? He said, this group called Two Live Jews. And the album was not derogatory, but they said, don't give a damn what it is. You ain't gonna do it. Okay? And they shut it down. It never hit the streets. You might find a copy someplace on someplace, but again, it was shut down before it was even started, Doc.
Same with Michael Jackson and that song. It was a very good song too, actually. I can't think of it. He said something, he said the K word, which is derogatory for the J folks. It's crazy how we have to tiptoe around YouTube. We could say niggas 73 times, but we gotta, that's the crazy shit. But yeah, they made Michael Jackson take out that specific word, even though it was a song, it wasn't even a song dissing. It was a song about, it was a good song with good lyrics.
Right. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at Two Live Jews right now, album cover. I'm looking at it, okay? I'm trying to see if I can get it big enough I can put it on my phone.
Let me see, I'll pull it up myself.
It's a low
right here.
Yeah.
I got you. So, all right. So I'm looking at, oh damn. So it's all right. So it's two stereotypical older Jewish guys. Picture Woody Allen, two Woody Allen type guys sitting on a bench at a beach, like Two Live Crew was, and they're looking at what I'm assuming is a Jewish lady walking by in a full bathing suit.
Right.
Not a bikini or anything like that. It's actually kind of funny. You can tell it's a parody.
Right.
Obviously.
Two Live
Jews. They said
Jews,
no, huh? Ain't happening.
As kosher as they want to be.
Yeah, it's kosher. As kosher as they want to be.
And when it came to McCullough, they said, shut it down, baby. It ain't going to happen. But don't give a damn. Shut it down. We don't have
I'm gonna try. My mission now is to find these two guys.
We don't have an anti-defamation league. If that was the case, we probably wouldn't be niggas.
Damn. Yep. Sorry, my screen was tripping. So someone asked, do you think Straight Outta Compton portrayed Easy as a punk? Because Easy was a real one. Do you think Straight Outta Compton portrayed Easy as a punk?
No, but see, unlike Suge, Easy had Jerry Heller to always yank his chain. See, you gotta understand, when you got that kind of money and power and youth can be very destructive. And if there's nobody that you respect that can get in your ear or get in your ass if necessary, you'll find yourself in a situation that you can't get yourself out of. And that's been the problem for hip hop for decades. But Easy didn't have that problem, because although his dad and mom might not have been a part of his career, Jerry was. Like he said, you're making $1 million a month. Do you really want to jeopardize that for some street shit? Okay, the numbers. Okay, now it could have been handled in various ways, but he didn't have to handle it. Okay, and that's the part. And I think a lot of street cats make the mistake of thinking just because he's the leader, he got to be the one to do it or makes him a punk. Nothing that. You need to be out of the country, okay? You don't want to be nowhere near that. You're already going to be a suspect as soon as something happens. Why would you want to put yourself in that position? Brothers don't think; they just react, and that's the pitfall of a lot of brothers. They don't think; they just react. They just don't. They're gonna crash and burn because they don't want to look like a punk. Okay, so you are non-punk in prison. How's that working out for you? You're a respected street brother that ain't on the streets. Okay, and this is what my old man Jeffy, dude. I was a fool too. I was just the biggest fool ever. And anybody else with money at 22 years old got the hottest club in the city. Why wasn't I a fool? I had 2 old dogs that was on my head. Give a damn how much money you got. You still gonna answer to me? It's still my building. If you do something step out of line, you won't be here. You will not jeopardize my shit. Why? Because we all, here's another difference. We all lived in the same neighborhood. Whatever I brought to Avalado Segundo affected where I lived at, because I lived right around the corner. We all went to the same grocery store, same gas stations. We all, it was from the community. So they had a vested interest to make sure that nothing happen. I didn't get out of control. When people don't have a vested interest in your success or the impact you have on the community, which means if whatever happened in Compton don't affect no place else, why do I care? It don't affect me and my kids. And that's the part that most people don't understand. That's the part Puffy don't understand, the part Shield don't understand, the part nobody understands. Yeah, the people, you making money, but the people that's making the money, they ain't nowhere near around here, dude. And they don't care what happened because it had no impact on them. And they're shielded anyway, because you indemnify them in the contracts.
Yeah. D Minor wants to know, do you know why you and Yellow were the only ones to go to Eazy's funeral from N.W.A and World Class Wreckin Cru? Is that even true? I don't even.
Yeah. Me and Adrian rolled together. We liked the brother, man. Contrary to what people want to try and say, that's why I did the Easy Street thing, man. That's another reason why I did it. I liked the dude, man. He was a cool brother. We didn't always get along. Everybody don't get along with everybody. Okay, we clowned each other. Easy was at my house, maybe, I don't know, 6 weeks before he died, 2 months before he died. When I was his go-to guy. Yella stayed, he I'm not gonna say betrayed Dre, but he chose Easy over Dre when he got ready to leave Ruthless. He came in with Dre, left out with Easy. Okay, and you got to understand, Yella had a couple of things in his life that made him very sensitive to shit like that. I don't see him not doing that. Okay, he's that kind of dude. I don't think anybody else would have. It would have had the same impact because everybody else was gone except for Ren. I don't understand why he didn't do it, but that's a personal thing. I can't explain that one, but I know why Yellow went there. He liked to do. They got along. They was kind of day one from N.W.A. Adrian and I rolled together, Adrian was N.W.A.'s road manager, so they had a relationship, and it just made for a real somber situation, man. It wasn't all about street dudes. It was all about just Easy was a different kind of dude. He was street as they come, but he knew how to he had sense. He made one of them big ass coats and did all the other shit, but he had sense and he was cool. He was kind of cat that would go run out of Chuck E. Cheese for his kid's birthday. I don't know if gangsters do that. Most gangsters are so busy trying to impress their homies, they don't do shit like that. Like in my documentary, my new documentary that's going to debut in Compton College, N.W.A, not without Lonzo, debuting in Compton College at the Compton Film Festival on August the 9th. Vonnie Brown says, Easy would go to Disneyland. He'd take his kids to Disneyland. Okay? I don't know if everybody do that. Everybody don't do that. Okay? You look up, you go to Chuck E. Cheese in Lakewood, you got all the N.W.A. and shit, and N.W.A. Above the Law, and a bunch of other folks, all in Chuck E. Cheese. Because that's what he was that kind of, he was a different kind of dude. He wasn't just all gangster. Just like Tupac wasn't all gangster. He was a gangster, but he spoke to women too. You ain't never heard no gangsters talk about no women in a positive way in your life other than Tupac. Think about it. He said he had some negative response too, but he also had Brenda had a baby. He also had Dear Mama. He showed a different side. Most gangsters don't show their soft side, man. And you cannot be a hard motherfucker at Chuck E. Cheese. You can't be hard at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't give a damn. That rat come out there playing them goddamn guitars and the kids get to hopping around. Dude, your heart gonna melt like a candle. And that's what most cats don't want nobody to see them have that soft side, dude. And that's the part about huh?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Most cats hardcore. Yeah, that's the whole thing about being hardcore. It's not realistic for the most part. In most cases, it's not real. You only hard on your boys. Your girl gonna soften you up, and you got any kids? Like I said before, your ass gonna melt like a candle.
Facts. Strictly Funk says, Lonzo, did you ever go to any of the N.W.A. pool parties?
Nope.
You were significantly older. You got to remind people you're significantly older, right? Than the average guy.
Yeah. Dude, that's like asking me, am I going to a twerking contest? Nah, I probably ain't gonna go down. Cause see, when I go there, I got to be the grown man in the room, okay? Because there's certain shit I don't want to witness. I don't want to have to testify. I don't want to be in that shit, okay? What am I saying? I don't want to be a victim. I don't want to have to testify, okay? Because some situations are cases waiting to be filed. Back then, that shit worked. It worked, okay? As you can tell by the shit that Puffy going through right now, if more players are still around, they might go back and retroactively start filing charges on people for the shit back there. Because this retroactive charging folks bullshit, oh man, that's some bullshit right there. That woke shit, some of that shit is bullshit. Not all of it. Some of that shit is bullshit. To go get somebody something he did for 10 years ago, and ain't nobody complained about it, but you just saw a video, oh, he got to go to jail. I mean, Puffy, different situation. But back then, man, it was the wild, wild west, man. And see women, man, I had a pool in my backyard. See woman walking around here butt naked, topless, wasn't no big deal. It was no big deal for women to come to the pad and see the jacuzzi. They want to get their clothes wet. Next thing you know, they in Victoria's Secret. Or in the pool, butt ass naked. Victoria's Secret hanging on the side. Jacuzzi, man, dude, it was. Hey, I'm glad there no cameras back then. That's all I can tell you. I'm glad we didn't have cameras back then. Real talk.
Breaking news, man. You brought up Puffy and you brought up Tupac. We got some breaking news, hot off the press. New court documents were allegedly implicating Diddy and Tupac's murder. Diddy named 77 times by prosecutors in Tupac Shakur murder document as a suspect, accusing him of ordering a hit on the rapper and been accused by paying Keefe D $1 million for Tupac's assassination, according to the latest court papers. This is hot off the press. I mean, I'm seeing it a few times on my timeline. I don't know, so I'm gonna, take it with a grain of salt. But man, what do you think, dude? 30 years later.
Do you do audiobooks?
I love that's the only way I pretty much consume content is audiobooks.
I just finished 2 audiobooks, and one of them was Once Upon a Time in Compton by a friend of mine, Lolita File. She wrote this book about these two gang cops out of Compton. Dude, it talks about all that shit in the book. I just finished this Sunday. Okay, I put it on my phone. I could not put it down. It was 12 hours of all types of stuff. And it's funny for me personally, because I know a bunch of these people. I know the names, I know the people, I got their phone numbers. And I'm thinking about all the stuff that went down. I said, that does make sense. That does make sense. When it talks to you about the Tupac situation, man, it's really, really deep. And these cops pretty much had Orlando and Homeboy in the car, and they got him in the car. And the aftermath, why they got killed, it answers a bunch of questions. But I think Homeboy was his own worst enemy on that situation right there.
Mm-hmm.
He was his own worst enemy on that.
See where
right
this goes.
You know.
See where this goes.
Huh?
Oh no, go ahead, keep going.
And see something like murder for hire, ain't no statute of limitations on that one, Doc. Ain't no statutes on that, bruh. If Homeboy want to go home one day, he may testify and say some shit that, hey, Puffy did this, blah, blah. Obviously he did. And that means Puffy got a problem. Puffy got a problem. That's real talk right there. Puffy got a problem. If what you said is actually true, and Homeboy's saying that $1 million was supposed to be paid for him to do that Tupac thing, dude. When the shooters tell on you, ain't nobody supposed to know but you and the shooter, and the shooter tell on you, and let's change the subject. Yeah,
we'll see, man. We'll see. Let's start wrapping it up. We have a few more minutes, but a couple people wanted to know if you are going to be coming out to Sacramento again for your new documentary, Marlon and
I just submitted.
Was fun hanging out with you.
I just submitted the link for my video out to the Guild Theater just Monday, and I reached out for Kevin Johnson. Yeah, Kevin. He hit me back. Cool brother. I'm gonna give him a shout out, man. Cool, one of the coolest brothers I've met. Kevin Johnson from the Sacramento Kings owns the restaurant called, come on, man, not Kizzy's. Damn, I'm trying to give him a plug. I can't think of it. He got two restaurants. He got one in Sacramento and one in downtown LA. What's it called? Damn it, I can't think of it right now. Anyway,
Fixins.
Thank you. Fixins.
Shout out, Marlon.
Much love, Marlon. And he and I hooked up last year, man. We hit it off real smooth. And I hit him up. Hey, man, I'm got a new documentary. I'm trying to get it in the. I want to see if you guys doing your show again. Can I make it in? He had me send him the link. I'm waiting to hear back, Doc. So hopefully we'll get picked up and we'll be there. That's
what's up. And August 9th, you mentioned. Let's pump that again.
August 9th, Compton College. We are kicking off the Compton Hub City Film Festival at Compton College. It's the first annual, folks. I'm also the ambassador for the event. They asked me today to be the ambassador for the film festival because of my entertainment connections. And of course, I accepted it. And so it's going to be interesting, man. We're working on a lot of things. In fact, I just found out it's made an offer to put some of the film from the film festival on the Compton Entertainment Channel. They love the idea. So it's going to be a great partnership. I'm looking forward to making it happen.
That's dope, man. Make sure y'all support stuff like this, man, because if you don't support it, it just may not be around next year. So these are events that are really important.
Tickets like $10 for one movie. If you want to go to the whole film festival, it's $25. You get your VIP pass, man. Come on, dude. Come on.
Can't beat that. Can't beat that.
My screening would be 6 o'clock at the Little Theater in Compton College. That's the biggest theater they have, holds about 300 people. And you'll see the premiere of N.W.A. Dr. Alonzo, The Origins of West Coast Hip Hop.
I will for sure be there in the front row with my camera recording all the action. But yeah, man, we got to wrap it up soon. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate everyone joining us. Man, really, really love you guys. Be safe out there. And before you go, please hit that like button if you haven't already. We definitely appreciate you. Any last words, Lonzo?
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre into surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold, On the eve after dark, 50-yard line on the Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood BS because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you'll ever know. Just remember that N.W.A stands for Now Without Alonzo. See y'all next week, folks. God willing, peace.